ventures. And we have really talented entrepreneurs pitching in today's competition. We have 4 of them, and each pitch will be 4 minutes long. And then we're gonna take 3 questions after each pitch. And we are gonna use an online voting poll tool, this soup. So I'll be sending out that link in the chat and we'll remind you of that. But basically the way that this tool works is that each person is gonna be able, you can submit as many questions as you like, and people are gonna be able to up and down vote the different questions. So we're just gonna pick whichever questions have the most upvotes, so the most popular questions. So make sure to hit that link. It should be very self-explanatory, but feel free to send us a private or public message in the chat if you're having issues with it. And after the pitches, we are going to send everyone to breakout rooms so that we can all virtually meet each other. Community networking is really a huge part of soup. We want everyone to walk away with something today, even if it's not the micro grant. We want everyone to take something away from the event. And so if you have any ideas or resources that you can connect the entrepreneurs, something. Sorry, I should repeat that real quick. If you have ideas or resources that could help the entrepreneurs, feel free to let us know. Feel free to let people in the breakout rooms know, and just chat about which pitches you like the most. And for anyone still entering, we want to mention again, just keep those cameras on. We want this to be super interactive, and also just stay muted so we can give the pitches our undivided attention. We also have a suggested $5 donation, which is going to go, all of those proceeds go directly to the winning entrepreneur. You can Venmo at Durham Soup or go to bit.ly/Durham Soup donate. And if you donate $10 or more, you will automatically be entered into our raffle, gift card raffle giveaway. We have some very generous restaurants that supported soup. And we have $300 worth in value of gift cards that you could win. Again, that's a $10 donation. And we want to thank those restaurants: Cucciolo Osteria, 9th Street Bakery, Mo Nuts, Highwire Brewery, the Durham Co-op, Quickly Tea House, and Macas Empanadas. And in our $300 gift basket, that includes a $100 Cucciolo gift card. So if you're a pasta fan, make sure you enter in that $10 raffle. And again, you can just Venmo at Durham Soup, or you can make a secure donation on our Give Lively site at bit.ly/Durham Soup donate. So I'm going to be sending those links out in the chat now. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Alicia Fisher. She was the winner of our fall soup. She's a very talented high school entrepreneur, and she's going to be giving us a little update on her venture, Bull City Replay. So Alicia, to you.
Hi, good evening, guys. Like she said before, I am a high school student, and I can tell you how the pitch competition has really helped me and helped move my business forward. Back in November, when I was invited to do the pitch competition, I did not feel prepared at all because I had only been, working on my business for about 2 or 3 months, and I was a high school student. And when I got there, I was, competing in the pitch competition against a lot of college students and adults. So I felt like I, was not prepared, but definitely, after winning, that was definitely a highlight moment for me that I'll probably never forget. I think I can thank the Durham Soup for that. But, after that, the grant has really been a launching pad, and the pitch competition for us has really been a launching pad into a whole lot of other things. And I wish I had physical things to show you guys, but I mean, the shirts are on the way and things like that, so I can't really show you. And I didn't want to wear a mask. I thought that would be kind of weird looking with the Bull City Replay logo on it and things. But community networking has been something that has been a really big thing that came out of this pitch competition. I was able to work with Quincy King from Audacity Labs to help, kind of build it along my Bull City Replay. And I was able to connect with several other sports groups and community centers and churches so we can get bins where they need to be, so that equipment can get, to us, so that we can get it to athletes. And I'll tell you my business. I'm so sorry. Bull City Replay is the business that I run, and basically we take in donated athletic equipment and we rehome it to athletes who are in need. And doing the pitch competition, really helped me recognize that that was an actual need in our community. And like I said, connected me with other people that, like other groups and nonprofits that I would be able to help those athletes that were in need get the equipment and gear that they needed. And if you want to hear more about Bull City Replay, I'll be on, I was invited to go on WDRB Media for their community give back program on their radio. And I'll be talking more about Bull City Replay up there. So if you want to hear, you can tune into that next week.
Great, and thank you for sharing your experiences. And we were all really excited for you to win last semester. And we're really excited to see what you do in the future as well. And if you have any questions for Alicia, please feel free to reach out or in the chat or privately as well. But without further ado, we'd like to move on to our first pitch of the night, which is Charisse Frederick of Rope Skills. And just a reminder that a link will be posted for you to ask questions in the chat, and then go and upvote questions that you like, or go post your own questions as well. But Charisse, I'm just gonna make you co-host, or I think you already co-host actually. So off to you.
Yeah, Charisse, whenever you're ready, take your time, but it's your turn now, so go ahead.
Today, even in the midst of a global pandemic, we can jump forward together to create a stronger culture of healthy living and youth empowerment. Rope Skills LLC is joining forces with local and national nonprofits to provide more physical fitness activities and peer leadership opportunities, using jump rope as the vehicle to keep students and their families moving and connected. Demonstrating a few single rope skills for you this evening is Caleb, one of our many youth ambassadors and rope skills instructors. Thank you, Caleb. I am Charisse Frederick Omari, one of the co-owners and managing partners of Rope Skills LLC, a new business startup right here in the Triangle community. Our award-winning team of instructors are world and national championship winning athletes that are in the process of developing an 8-week single rope and double Dutch fitness challenge. Our product delivered as an instructional skills video or synchronous virtual program will help students learn the basics of single rope and double Dutch using fun fitness activities. We have partnered for our initial initiative with some of the best. We have partnered with the local Jump Forward outreach team of the world famous Bouncing Bulldogs organization as part of their outreach initiative, as well as members of the National Double Dutch League to create this digital badge program. But it's more than just jumping rope. We do focus on jump rope skills, but we also focus on health and wellness. And we have discussions about healthy eating, healthy living, and how to incorporate jump rope into your wellness plan. We also encourage all participants to reflect about how the skills they are learning can impact the broader community. Our official rope skills instructors will demonstrate a variety of single rope and double Dutch skills that can be practiced at local schools, in homes, as you just saw my son demonstrate, or on outdoor play spaces. Jump rope is more than just a sport. It is a vehicle used to learn essential lessons, develop life skills, and accomplish inspiring goals. We want to show members of our local community fun ways to incorporate jump rope into their wellness plan, as well as ways to communicate and interact with others in fun and creative ways. By the end of our eight-week program, we will challenge program participants to create their own jump rope routines using the skills that they have learned so that they can keep jumping all year long. So as part of our program offering, we will work alongside school and community center leaders by allowing them to meet with our expert instructors twice a month in order to set goals and to implement accountability measures that will be fun and structured to keep everyone working towards their fitness goals. Some of the single rope skills that are included in our program are teaching children and adults how to do the basic bounce, speed jumping, double unders, crosses, along with other basic skills. But we also incorporate just fun games and challenges to do at the end of every week. You can do those individually, or you can do them with your family or with a group for more jumping fun. Currently, we plan to launch our first product in May of 2021. We want to pilot our programs in Durham Public Schools in the months of May and June, just in time for summer camps, and then introduce it to more local schools in the Triangle community in August and September. We need an estimated 1,200 to produce our Double Dutch Skills Challenge video. Our single rope video is already in the final editing phases. Winning the micro grant will enable us to complete the production for our single rope and double Dutch digital badge programs to be implemented in 2 or 3 Durham public schools, as well as local community centers by the summer of 2021, just in time for summer camps and all those summer activities. So ready your ropes, get set. Who's ready to jump in with us on the ground level of this initiative?
Thank you so much, Sharice, for that awesome pitch. And just as a reminder, we sent in the chat that link to ask questions. So feel free to utilize that. I think we're still waiting on a couple of responses, so we'll just give that a minute. But yeah, again, I see Tamet sent a very positive message in the chat, and we just want to reiterate, feel free to be positive in the chat throughout the event. And, you know, we don't want any negativity in the chat. I don't think that needs to be said, but, you know, just in case, just that was an awesome pitch. And I see we have a couple upvotes now for how much can you sell the single Dutch and double Dutch videos for? Is it sold to schools for a profit?
Yes, we are a for-profit organization, but working alongside local nonprofits. So it could be funded in a couple of different ways. We have already begun conversations with the Durham Public Schools Foundation, as well as we'll soon be communicating with Durham Parks and Rec. You know, so it doesn't necessarily mean that the school has to purchase the package, but if they see it as an initiative that they want for their program. Right now, we're pricing the product at about $800. So that would be approximately $100 per week. But the way we view that in terms of a cost analysis is if you have 800 elementary school students, for example, in your school, then that equates to about $1 per student. You know, so we feel like that should be affordable, particularly if we have community partners that will be helping to implement this in schools.
Great, and we have another question. What is the specific relationship with the Bouncing Bulldogs?
Well, the relationship that I have is the founder of the Bouncing Bulldogs organization is my father, Ray Frederick. So I grew up jumping rope, you know, it's in my blood. I was a student at Hope Valley Elementary right here in Durham, North Carolina, which is where the Bouncing Bulldogs program got its start. You know, now we are a triangle-wide program that's known around the world. You know, but we realized that we want to be able to take this into more schools and we want to be able to reach more students, not only in our local area, but also around the world. So that's why we are working to develop new programs at this time.
Awesome. And I think I'm going to just give one more minute to see if we have, oh, it looks like we have another interesting question. What would the pilot look like for the DPS programs?
What I am looking at right now is to look for the first 3 schools that would like to partner with us for this initiative. I definitely have my eyes on Lakewood Elementary School, the Bulldogs, where my son is currently in the pre-K program there. He's 4, and he's already jumping. You know, so we know this works well even with younger students. You know, but ideally we would like to partner with at least 3 Durham Public Schools in order to pilot this program, with the hopes to be able to then expand it to at least all of the elementary schools in the fall.
Oh, and I think that's it for questions that we have. So thank you very much, Sharice, for that. We really appreciate your presentation and your live demonstration. I have to say that was the first for a live demonstration on Zoom that we've had at Durham Soup. So thank you very much for continuing to be innovative. But I think next up now we have Aram Akpan of Virtual Escape Rooms. So Aram, feel free to share your screen.
it's safe to say that 2020 had one or two stressful things. For me, it was the first time that I faced a level of stress so high that it started manifesting physically. In addition to things you might expect, like having trouble sleeping, I faced such a severe loss of appetite that I stopped feeling hunger altogether for 2 months. I learned that I wasn't the only one kind of entering new territory in stress levels. Across the US, depression tripled in 2020. The number of people experiencing symptoms went from 8% to 28%, more than 1 in 4 people. In Durham, that represents about 70,000 affected. I think a lot of that comes from a feeling of isolation, just not being able to see and hang out with your friends in the places you normally would, and not being able to go to new events to meet new people because things got canceled. For my own sanity, I started setting up little virtual bonding events with friends because I realized, yeah, I need some social interaction, but it needs to be in a way that's actually fun and feels safe to do. So I set up little trivia nights, little icebreaker activities, getting to know you games, is essentially everything that I could find that would actually create a sense of connection. And that gave me the idea to start doing it for other people. Why not create a curated experience where other people can come bond with people that they care about, maybe meet someone new, and have fun for a change? So that led me to the idea of virtual escape rooms. Essentially, a virtual escape room asks the question, what if you could step into a movie for an hour? Instead of watching somebody else have all the fun, you can spend an hour as a treasure seeking explorer, or a secret agent saving the world, or any of a dozen other adventures. You'll answer riddles, solve puzzles, and interact with live actors who are playing the other people in your essentially personal movie. I think it'll help Durham in a few really key ways. Number one being to help turn around that unfortunate 1 in 4 statistic by giving people a place to release, to connect, to hang out with others in a safe way. I think it'll also help speed up the recovery of the arts scene in Durham. Right now, it's expected to take 2.5 years for the Durham art world to recover from the shenaniganery of 2020. I think that partnering with organizations like museums, theaters, and other places that were like small, local, and hardest hit, it'll help give them an extra revenue stream to keep them afloat while while we uh, survive those 2.5 years. The $1,000 will be used quite simply to create a prototype of the experience, to make a beta test with a group of somewhere between 20 and 30 users with real actors, just to get feedback, test things out, see what people like and what really doesn't fly well, to make it the best it can be before we spend a ton of time and effort on making it fancy. Here's a little more specific breakdown of where the funds will go. I'd expect to spend $300 for a year of Zoom Enterprise. Normally that would cost $150 a month, but a mentor of mine has offered to get me a specially discounted rate. I'd spend $200 on marketing and setting up a bare bones website that lets people register for particular dates. Um, $200 for printing and mailing some escape kits that you'd need for the adventure, and $300 to make it worth actors' whiles to participate. About out of time, but I'll open it to questions. If you want to be a tester, you can go to this link, and I know that's an obscene amount to type, so I'll also put it in the chat.
Thanks, Aaron, for that. Really appreciate your presentation and getting some really great feedback in the comment section as well. If everyone could just go to the link for questions, upvote questions, post questions, and we'll give that a bit of time to filter through before asking some. So I think we have our first question right now. It's, would your experience be similar to the type of escape room in malls?
You said, would it be similar to the type of escape room in malls?
Yeah.
I think short answer, yes. I think one thing that differentiates us is the degree of personalization and customization. With a lot of in-person escape rooms, there's not a lot of story, and it's essentially a justification to just throw a bunch of puzzles at you. For these, I really want there to be a core storyline that you are involved in and affecting the whole time. So for example, with those actors, say you're an explorer, the way that you treat your companion on the ride to town may come back to bite you. If you're mean to them, maybe later on they won't rescue from a trap, or if you do treat someone well, then later on they will give you something that helps you get out of a trap more easily.
Great, and
So hopefully that answers your question. It's similar, but there's a lot more personalization and you affect things a lot more.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. We have a second question coming in. Will you be personally
All right.
designing the virtual escape room kits?
I know that, so visual design is not my strength, so I would probably get one of my designer friends to do a basic version for the beta test. After that, once we have people actually purchasing tickets and we're generating revenue, I would have someone design a much nicer looking one. Some things I envisioned going in the escape kits would be, for example, if you're a secret agent on a mission, you would get a sheet that explains the Morse code alphabet, and then during the adventure, you would have to translate something in Morse code before you can progress in the story. So short answer, I would have someone else design the nice parts.
Great. And then just another question coming through. How does a virtual escape room work for the participants to create the connection?
Like how?
How does the virtual escape room work for participants to create the connection? In all my events, I design things so that there are things you do that let you get to know each other. The act of team building in itself usually, let me start off with a simpler sentence. So I study this a lot is the short version. When people work together to solve a problem and do something fun, that creates a connection. But I'd also build in places where people just get to talk. So movies, you would probably skip that part a bit when folks stop and talk about their backstories at a campfire, but you'd more than likely be playing games that let you get to know each other better.
Great. And I think those are our 3 questions for you. But I believe we have another question just in the Zoom chat for the link to be a tester. So afterwards, if you don't mind dropping that in the Zoom chat as well, I think people are asking about the link to be a tester. But
absolutely, your wish is my command.
And next, we have Lauren Sheridan of Henworth Homestead. And before she begins, I just wanted to make a reminder that you can Venmo at Durham Soup or go to our secure code to donate. And I'll send those again in the chat. But we've already raised, I think it's over $300 during the event so far. And we also got some very generous donations as well right before the event. So we have, the winner will be leaving with over $2,000. And, I think we can up this even more. So make sure to send in those donations. Again, we have $300 worth of gift cards on the line if you donate that $10. So I'm going to be sending that link in the chat again right now. But Lauren, it's your turn. So go ahead. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, hosts. All right, so my name is Lauren. I'm going to be talking to you guys about an idea that I have for a neighborhood sustainability collaborative. So just a little bit about me to start. I am a social worker. I live in South Durham on a little corner lot on about 1/2 acre. I have chickens and a garden, and I'm also really interested in homesteading and sustainability, and I also have a hobby background in web development. So some background, just like Erin was telling us, there are a lot of problems in the world. We know this. Isolation rise in particular, a lot of problems with sustainability. The good news is that there are a lot of creative solutions out there. So things like composting, permaculture, and using systems in a circular economy model. So my proposal is that we use some of these tactics in the format of a neighborhood sustainability collaborative. So essentially what I'm proposing is a group of neighbors coming together in a system of exchanges, and these will take several different formats you can see here. So composting is pretty straightforward. Take food scraps, compost them in a central location that can be given to neighbors for use in their garden. Junk mail. I don't know if you knew this, but the US Postal Service delivered about 75 billion pieces of junk mail in 2019. So if it feels like you're getting a lot, you are. The good news is that I shred that down and I use it as chicken gutting, and it's a really effective use of a waste resource. Produce exchange. We would have neighbors that might grow produce in their gardens, and they could trade that with neighbors who also grow things, or even things you buy at the store, artisan crafts, other things you have around the house that can be repurposed and reused. And then lastly, knowledge. Arguably the one that my neighbors were most interested in. People just really want to learn from each other and collaborate with each other. So this would offer a platform and a system for people to just have a more structured way to interact and share those experiences with one another. So a little more about the concept. Like I said, this would be a collaborative involving a system of exchanges between neighbors. So people would be able to join our co-op sort of system for free. And then there would be some pretty small charges for some of the waste repurposing activities that I would do on the homestead. And just for reference, the only currently available composting program that I'm aware of costs about $30 a month. And that's just for compost alone. So this is a pretty reasonable fee structure and something that I think would be really doable for neighbors in my community. And this is also something that I'm thinking of rolling out in my own neighborhood, but would be able to be duplicated in many neighborhoods. And those effects could be spread, Durham wide and beyond. So this is roughly what I would use the funds for. A lot of it would be the materials needed, like I said, to process those waste materials and make them, able to be reused. Some of the funds would go towards building a website, which is really important for a business these days. I do have the ability to build a website with my background using, some of the tools out there, and then legitimizing the business, getting things started up, becoming an LLC, things like that. I did want to give a shout out to Small Cakes Bakery, who already agreed and has donated their icing buckets for use as our collection and return bins. So we're already making use of a waste resource right there. So interest, I did a survey with my neighbors. People were very overwhelmingly interested. They really want to connect with one another. Like I said, they want to learn from one another. By and large, people were doing some of these activities, but they're feeling kind of alone and siloed and overwhelmed. So they really want a place where we can all work together towards the same goal of sustainability. And I think Durham is a really great place for this. There's clearly a lot of interest. There was a composting survey in Durham, and I think people just in general are feeling the effects of the pandemic and wanting to connect and wanting to get outside. So in summary, I have some next steps outlined. Like I said, legitimizing the business a little bit, getting the website developed, rolling this out with a test group and just seeing how things work and adjusting from there. And using those principles that I talked about, a circular economy model, using sustainability and permaculture practices to work towards this common goal. So like I said, I'm a social worker. I believe in starting where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. And that's my goal with this project. So thank you all for listening. And these are my dogs, my employees on the homestead. They're not very helpful.
That was awesome, Lauren. Thank you so much. And we have a couple questions in the polling tool. We'll send out that link again in just a minute. But one question we have is, would you have a plan, and what would be your plan to expand into other neighborhoods?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the goal with developing the website platform, having this dedicated as sort of a sustainability group, would be that can be duplicated and expanded to other neighborhoods. So as you can see here, the scale of the project, I think, is really a protective factor. It keeps things small, it keeps things local, and very manageable. So being able to take that model and, sort of champion the model and roll out some guidelines that another neighborhood, captain or leader could then pick up and implement in their own neighborhood would be my goal for this, for this project. So I would definitely think this is something that could be duplicated and expanded to really any neighborhood where there's enough interest.
Amazing. And Someone asked, would you be doing all of the processing on your own? What would be your plan to scale this? Like, would you hire anyone else, for example?
Yeah, at this point, I don't think there would be a plan to scale it. Like I said, I think keeping the scale small and expanding by duplication rather than just expanding to, more customers contributing to the same system is kind of what makes this type of system work. So having it be a really small scale effort, but certainly would want to, like I said, share that knowledge far and wide as much as possible so that other neighborhoods can implement something similar. I will say that the North Carolina laws dictate that you can have a backyard composting endeavor that's up to 100 cubic feet or cubic yards, which is a pretty large area. So I don't anticipate running into like any problems with sort of managing the amount that we're thinking we would get. So I think that this scale would be very manageable. And like I said, we would expand through duplication. I would expect to, manage this scale of waste repurposing on my own. Could certainly use volunteers from the collaborative or kids in the neighborhood that want to get involved and maybe make a little money over the summer or things like that. But that's more the scale that I'm looking at this point.
Awesome. And some people in the poll, someone said, I have a ton of paper to donate. Do you have a location to drop off materials? And with that, do people have to pick up from you, or is like a delivery? Do you also have like a delivery cost if you deliver at the end of your cycle?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would love to offer the survey that I did. I was actually surprised at how many people were more interested in a drop-off option. And I think that's because they know it's so local. So I would love to offer both of those. And I would personally pick those up. If it becomes a little bit of a larger endeavor, I would probably invest in a truck or something like that. But I certainly have the capacity within my own neighborhood to do pickups of that sort of thing when it's, compost or junk mail in a sealed bucket. If larger businesses or places, people on this call perhaps wanted to donate, larger amounts of that type of material, we can certainly talk about that. And I will be sharing my slides and a video copy of this presentation on my website, henrithhomestead.com. So I encourage people to check that out. That's just a sort of smaller version of the site that I made for my neighbors who were walking by and really interested in the chicken coop and the gardens and everything. And people actually currently put their kitchen scraps in my chicken run now, just as it is, and say hi to the chickens. So definitely open to that sort of thing, and we can connect, and feel free to send me an email and we can talk about it.
Great. I think those were our 3 questions, but thank you so much for your presentation again. Really appreciate your time. And I think henrithhomestead.com, I think was what you said, right? So feel free to check out more about Lauren on that website. And finally, we have Antoinetta of I Follow the Leader. So Antoinetta, take it away for the final presentation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Antoinetta Mosley of I Follow the Leader, and I am a certified diversity professional. I Follow the Leader is a leadership consulting firm that specializes in diversity, equity, and inclusion, strategy, initiatives, and education. Tonight, I'd like to encourage you to leave the cookie cutter solutions in the kitchen. When you're making your diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy or training, you do not want to have a cookie cutter plan. A diverse workplace is now one of the main factors potential employees take into account before they apply to a job. Also, the demographics in the United States have changed drastically over the last 10 years, and they are going to continue to shift. So diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging are so important for every workplace, every leader, and every human resources department to keep in mind. There has also been increased demand for DEI expertise because study after study has shown that DEI done correctly leads to increased innovations, profits, and a better culture. At I Follow the Leader, we believe every employee deserves to feel a sense of belonging in the workplace, and that every workplace needs to take strategic, measurable, and sustainable action to help their workforce move forward. Unfortunately, every company doesn't have a DEI director or a chief diversity officer. It's all right. That's where I Follow the Leader comes in. We exist to help leaders and companies thrive and reach their highest potential. We execute our mission through a variety of services, including strategic planning, training, and discussions. Since 2016, I've talked to over 4,000 leaders and change agents about diversity, equity, and inclusion. In 2018, we had one client. In the last year, we partnered with 15 clients in various sectors. And the awesome thing is that 89% of those clients decided to partner with us on more than one engagement. And 100% of our clients would definitely recommend our services. Unlike many DEI firms, we know that no organization is the same, so we do not offer cookie cutter solutions. Every engagement is unique and personalized. When a potential client is interested in partnering with us, we have a needs assessment call to evaluate the phase they are on in our framework, which is a 4-phase, 12-step model. We then provide recommendations on those next steps. In our 6-month partnership, the comprehensive roadmap, we provide our expertise and really serve as that chief diversity officer for the organization. We conduct a full cultural audit, meet with leaders, have focus groups with employees, and at the end, the deliverable is a strategic action plan with measurement steps to help them move forward. You don't have to just take it from me. These are some of the quotes from our clients who have partnered with us for 3 to 6 months. So they love what we do. We get them on track. They think we're amazing facilitators, and we provide them a tremendous service. And that's just one more quote from a happy client. I think that you should vote for I Follow the Leader to win the $1,000. I'm sorry, it's now $2,000 to win the $2,000 prize, because we believe in relationship building, and also we will use the money to trademark our framework. I think you saw in that first presentation, the TM. Well, it costs about $2,500 to hire a trademark lawyer, so we would be able to use all of our funding to trademark. Also, that is not all. When we win, we're going to donate a strategy session to a local nonprofit. If given the opportunity to pour into our business, we want to pour directly back into the Durham community in April. It would be immediate. So a vote for I Follow the Leader is also a vote for the Durham community. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Antonella, for that presentation. Really appreciate it. And questions is filtering through right now, but remember the link that was posted in the chat for posting and uploading any questions. I think we're just going to give it 10-15 seconds before asking any questions. Oh, we actually have a few coming through already. So the first question is, how do you continue to make lasting impact after the consulting period is done?
Of course. So when people partner with us on that 6-month roadmap that I talk about, we check in over the next year. So we give them that 1-year strategic action and measurement plan that's personalized, but we then have quarterly check-in calls with them, because many of our clients, this is their first time entering DEI. And so we ensure that we're still walking along with them over that first year through quarterly meetings.
Great. And the second question now that we have is this a fee for service model?
Yes, it is. So we provide consultation services, and so people pay for our services. Yes.
Great. And just a last question for you now. How will you determine which nonprofit to donate your strategy session to?
Yeah, I think that's something, if I win, we could maybe talk about that in the community sessions. But I really believe in a fair assessment. And so I know a lot about nonprofits. I used to work in the nonprofit field. And so I would ensure that it was a nonprofit that was $5 million and under, because being in development before, I know those are the nonprofits that need our help the most.
Amazing. Thank you so much for all of your questions and for everyone being so interactive, and we're loving all the positivity in the chat, and we want you all to have an opportunity to really get to know each other even better now. And so we are going to send you all into breakout rooms. It'll last around 7 minutes, and then we are going to ask now, if you can, send in your donations. Obviously, we'll keep on taking donations as long as you guys are sending them, but just so we could have an accurate sum at the end of the event, it would be better if you, sent them now. And I think we were approaching, I think, over $2,300. So just keep on donating. We're really excited, and we'll also be announcing the raffle winner before we announce the winner of the pitch. So again, please donate against $10 for the raffle, and it would be a great time to do that now if you haven't already. And lastly, we want to shout out those restaurants that have been super helpful to us in donating. So again, that's Cucciolo, 9th Street Bakery, Monuts, Highwire Brewery, Durham Co-op, Quickly Tea House, and Macas Empanadas. So also, if you get the chance to support those restaurants, obviously they have the Durham community in mind. So should just be a minute, but you're going to get a request for a breakout room. So feel free to chat about which pitches were your favorite, which one you're thinking of voting for, and I guess just engage in some community networking. Thank you all so much.
So within the following few moments, you should have a request to a breakout room. We're going to try and make them around 4 to 5 people in each breakout room. And just feel free to get to know everyone. We'll post questions for each breakout room, like Bryn said.
And chat us if you're having any difficulty, just send us like a private message to me. Bryn Wilson would probably be the best way to do that. Thank you. So for everyone who's left, you should get a request to go to the breakout room. So just go ahead and hit that. Like Sophia, if you guys want to go, or I don't know if you're doing stuff, but you guys can go as well. But like Cassandra and Patricia, if any of you need help, let us know. Do you guys need help moving into the breakout room, or we can also just have a discussion here in the main group if you guys would prefer, if you're not. I know Zoom can be tricky to figure out with the breakout rooms.
Probably like the only one back.
As defendant. 21-year-old sat alert as the judge read his rights in the courtroom.
If everyone could just mute themselves when coming back. I know it's a bit of a difficulty with Zoom, but really appreciate it.
And if we move,
Oh no, she's gone. Oh, that's too bad.
oh yeah, sorry, the breakout rooms, they kind of close up on you a little quickly. But we hope you enjoyed them. And yeah, sorry if we're muting you now, it's just to try to keep the background noise limited. Doesn't mean we don't we really appreciate everyone being super engaged. So thank you all so much for joining. And now we are gonna have a chance to leave some suggestions for the entrepreneurs, perhaps your contact information if you have resources to help them, or you just want to get in touch with them, you really love their idea. So just sent it in the chat.
Got on my shirt.
There's a Google Jamboard, and you should be able to just click the link, and we'll also show you right now on the screen what it looks like. So it should be very easy to join. Send us a chat or a private chat if you're having issues with it. But just type feedback in those little notes. Ideally, you don't write over each other, but if you do, it's just an accident. It's hard for us all to use the same Jamboard, but we still really wanted to include this part of our event because we really enjoy the community networking part of it and a chance to give each other feedback. So we'll just do this for the next 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to be announcing the winner. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
One bag good, then.
Take
We're just going to give it a couple more minutes, and then after that, we'll do the voting and announce who won the raffle and Durham soup for this semester. Okay, I think we're slightly running out of time now, so I'm going to stop screen sharing for that. But please keep on going with that link and posting helpful comments, feedbacks, resources. Durham Soup is really about the community and the Durham community. So any resources, networks that you might be able to introduce entrepreneurs to, we'd really appreciate that. In person, it's normally much more of an interactive event. So really trying our best in this virtual Zoom setting to kind of compensate for that. So keep that going. But in the meantime, we want to give you the chance to vote for your favorite entrepreneur now. And in a second, we'll post the Zoom poll where you can vote for your favorite entrepreneur. So give us 30 seconds to post that Zoom poll.
Yeah, sorry, just one like little change we have to make on Zoom before the poll goes live. But yeah, you're just gonna be able to vote for your favorite pitch. I'm sorry, we don't through Zoom just don't have a ranking feature. Obviously, there are some technical limitations, but we're so excited that you joined us, and we really invite you to come to our next Soup. We are so hopeful that it will be in person, hopefully like next fall. And so yeah, sorry, just give us 1 minute and the poll should go on Zoom in just a second. Should be pretty self-explanatory, but send a question in the chat if you don't get it.
Okay, so the poll should be launched now. So if everyone could just vote, we'll give it a couple minutes and then we'll announce the raffle winner and the Durham Soup winner. So just 30 more seconds. I think we still have a few people who haven't voted, so please vote for your favorite entrepreneur, and then we'll announce the winners. Okay, I think we have almost everyone now, so I'm gonna end the poll. So
If you can't, if you're struggling to vote, just send me, Bryn Wilson, in the chat your vote, and then we can do a quick math calculation to see if that will change the results. So just either do the Zoom poll or send me that chat. But in the meantime, we are going to announce our raffle winner for the $300 gift card basket.
So our raffle winner, and thank you again to everyone who donated $5, $10, or anything more than that. We really appreciate any sort of donation that goes 100% to the entrepreneur and helps them with their business ventures. And the winner will be taking home a $300 gift basket with different restaurants, including Cucciolo, 9th Street Bakery, Mo Nuts, Highwire Brewing, among many others as well. So the winner of the raffle is Mohammed Fazli, and we will follow up with you later to mail these gift cards to you. So congratulations to Mohammed Fazli.
Yeah, and we'll just give it another second for the voting. I'm just gonna pull out my calculator and change this. Okay, great. It looks like we just did our calculation here to add to the Zoom poll. And without further ado, we can do a little virtual drum roll. But the winner of Spring Durham Soup is Aram Akman of Virtual Escape Rooms. Congratulations.
Let's go, Aram.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hey, nice. I know you had it.
Woohoo!
Aram, if you'd like to say a couple words, feel free to jump in. And thank you all for attending, and we hope to see you at the next soup.
Gosh, I feel like that person at the Oscars who definitely didn't expect to win. Thank you all for voting for my project. I'm really excited about it. I think it's something that a lot of people will enjoy and hopefully will help other folks feeling alone, feeling like they're the only one going through things, like have a place to hang out, make new friends, solve some fun puzzles, and have a good time. Hate to sound salesy, I guess, but if you haven't already, definitely sign up as a beta tester if you want to join in the fun, or just stay in the loop about other things. But again, thank you all for coming out, and so appreciate you giving and like more in an hour of your evening. I'm sure you had 5,000 other things to do. So thank you again for coming, and you guys all rock.
Way to go, Aram. Congratulations.
Good job, Aram.
And thank you all. And we were so excited about announcing the winning pitch. We forgot to mention the total. That was all made possible by you all and NC Idea. So Aram will be taking home $2,543 for winning the pitch. That is the most we've ever raised. That's yeah, like easily the most we've raised at Soup. So I'm so excited for you. And we are so appreciative to all the entrepreneurs who pitched. We hope that, you know, everyone had a great experience at the event, and yeah, stick around if you have any questions, and for all the entrepreneurs, we'll be in touch as well. So thank you so much.
Great job, Aaron.
Okay.
Yeah. Have a great night.
Thanks for organizing. This is great.
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 Congrats.